Toon Story Studio, animating Africa's stories, one tale at a time.
The golden sun spilled over our village like palm oil on fresh yam, casting long, lazy shadows on the red earth. The air was thick with the scent of suya and fried plantain, mingling with the chatter of traders haggling in the bustling marketplace. Children, bare feet kicking up dust, chased each other between clay huts, their laughter ringing louder than the village gong. Olorunko was alive, always, but never more so than when the drums called us to the palace. I, Adunni, had lived here all my life. I had seen masquerades dance through our streets and heard the griot sing of warriors long gone, but nothing compared to the tale of the blind prince. His name was Prince Ifelolu, the only son of Kobiyisi, King Adebayo. Ifelolu had never seen the sun rise over the great ocean river, never gazed upon the beauty of the village maidens, yet he carried himself with the confidence of a man who saw beyond the physical. One evening, the palace's talking drum sent an urgent message through the land, summoning every household to the royal square. The king's voice, heavy with age and authority, boomed across the gathering crowd. My son seeks a wife, not one drawn to his title or wealth, but one who truly loves him. She must prove she sees what he cannot. A test, they called it. But what kind of test? The next morning, the palace gate opened, and maidens from Olorunko and neighboring villages arrived, adorned in the richest osok, wrists jingling with gold bangles. Some recited poetry, their voices as sweet as honey-dripped akara. Others danced, their feet stamping messages into the earth. But the prince, seated tall like an Iroko tree, simply smiled and shook his head. Days turned to weeks, and the hopeful maidens left, their pride stung like an angry wasp. I watched from afar, my heart aching for the prince. How could he find love when he could not see the eyes that carried it? One evening, as the sky turned the color of ripe agboluma, I wandered past the palace garden. Under the ancient Iroko tree sat the prince, alone. Without thinking, I stepped forward. "My prince," I said, my voice soft like the harmattan breeze, "why do you sit alone when your heart searches for another?" His head turned towards me. "Because love is not in the eyes," he murmured. "And yet, no one understands." I knelt before him. "Then let me tell you what I see." He listened, his face calm but intense. I spoke of the village, the way the ocean river glowed like molten gold at sunset, how the marketplace buzzed with the energy of traders and tricksters alike. I described the way the palm trees swayed, whispering secrets to the wind, and how the elders sat beneath them, their wisdom as vast as the sea. I told him about his people, those who admired his strength, those who feared his blindness, and those who believed his destiny was far greater than sight. When I finished, the silence stretched between us. Then, he reached out, his fingers brushing my hand. "Adunni," he said, my name rolling off his tongue like a sacred incantation. "You have shown me what my eyes never could." 2 moons later, the talking drum beat again. This time, it was not a call for a test but for a wedding. The blind prince had found love, not in riches, not in beauty, but in words, in truth, in the vision of a woman who saw not with her eyes, but with her soul. And that is how I, Adunni, the weaver's daughter, became the bride of the blind prince.